way should I go? I'm gonna go this way. And then I need something to talk about. Oh, there we go. That'll work. All right, let's see. I made a video called Another 49-Year-Old Man with a Great Hairline. Of course, I wasn't referring to myself because I'm 36, as you know. But I interviewed a man who had, a hairline just basically straight across, no hair loss, thick hair, and interviewed him. In that video, someone named Chris Biz had this to say, quote, "The other guy may have a better hairline, but Nick is still better looking," end quote. Thank you, Chris. Now, on a related note, I want to point out a comment that I just got like minutes before that one. So these are like back-to-back comments, like within a minute or so apart. But on this other video that I did like well over a year ago, I did a video a while back and it was called "A Quarter Mexican, a Quarter Italian, Half American, age 34 man." So obviously I was 34 at the time. I'm 36 now. And so I was just making a video just to see what would happen if I made a video talking about me, like what a guy would look like if he's a quarter Mexican Italian and age 34, which I was at the time. Andrea had this to say, quote, "Very handsome man, I might add," smiley face. All right, so it's funny. Here's what's interesting to me. Within the course of like 2 minutes, 2 people left me comments basically saying that I'm a good looking guy, that I'm a handsome guy. Within 2 minutes. Okay, and I greatly appreciate the compliment. I'm not used to people doing that because for me, I'm an average looking guy with a very interesting personality. And so when you get average looks and great personality, you get a very, that's a good combination. And I always focus on what I can control, not on what I can't. Which I'm actually glad I'm not a particularly good looking guy. I'm happy being average because then I can know that I'm never depending on my looks alone. If you're Brad Pitt, I guess you have to worry about that, right? Okay, so let me just kind of unpack this. It's interesting what Chris said when he says the other guy has a better may have a better hairline, but Nick is still better looking. And this has kind of showed up in the comments, I think last week, where I think it was Maxwell Smart was pointing out that it's not just about your hair to begin with. There's, are you a good looking person to begin with? Do you have style? Are you interesting? All these things that adds up. And so it's funny because even after all of that, you could be born with this perfect hairline and keep it. And then ultimately this other guy who's average looking is still better looking than you. Like, what an interesting thing. Like, it's easy to focus on this one thing about hairlines and hair loss, but ultimately we can put so much value on how good looking we are or are not based on hair, but then you still lose in the end because someone else who's average looking is better looking than you, according to 2 people basically right in a row. So I'm just taking that in because I'm not used to starting my day with people complimenting me on my looks. But again, I accept and I thank you for that. So I guess hairlines aren't everything, because then you still have to figure out, am I a good looking guy to begin with? What can I do with this average look that I've got? Or if you're not a good looking person, what can you do to change that? There's so many things you can do to change that. Again, I bank big on personality, and if you ask me, on style.